Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2014 season of the Cincinnati Roller Girls. My name is Nick Time, and I will be one of your three announcers this evening. Joining me in the booth this evening, to my left, Coach Marty, no stranger to the roller derby scene. And to my right, the newcomer, Dave Effin. Marty, break it down for you tonight. What's going on?
Here's the deal, Nick, at time. We're getting closer to warmer weather, all right? And Punxsutawney Phil, he's a chump. As far as I'm concerned, the first day of spring is the home opener of the Cincinnati Roller Girls, celebrating their 9th year in existence here at the Cincinnati Gardens, celebrating their 65th year of existence. So it's a historical evening. And so, folks, go ahead and turn off your furnaces now. Get your shorts out, because summer is about to be, it's right around the corner. Roller derby is here. Praise the Lord.
I'll tell you what, Marty, I couldn't have said it better myself. We're here in the historic Cincinnati Gardens, but making his debut tonight in the booth, Dave. Dave, tell me how you're feeling tonight.
Nick, I could not be more excited. Just a year ago, I was one table away, psyching up the crowd, and now I actually get to be on the broadcast and watch it from here. I'm also excited about some of the players that are going to be making their debuts here as well, since I'm not the only one. We've got Chainsaw, we've got I'm a Tattooer coming back for the Violent Lambs, and there's going to be a lot of new faces here.
You could say that. This year is going to be a relatively new-looking team. If you've ever seen the Cincinnati Roller Girls in the past, you may not recognize the team you're going to see on the track tonight. We have a lot of new skaters, a lot of people making their debut. Marty, can you tell me who is new for the Violent Lambs outside of Chainsaw this evening?
Oh, well, we have number 14, Genocide. We have, Scunner Hurt, one of the absolute first junior derby to graduate into the Cincinnati Roller Girls fold, and we're hoping she's the first of many to come. She, of course, is the daughter of Juana Hurt. We also have, you said a mini Chainsaw. But anyway, so we have some new looks, but we also have some veteran presence. We have Poppy Chulo, Oh Behave, I Caramba, I'm a Tattooer is back, and she is bad. And I tell you, I was talking to her earlier, and she is ready to play.
I could see that earlier. She made it clear to me as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the sport of roller derby, let me break it down for you real quick here in this convenient video form.
The basics of flat track roller derby, brought to you by Antic Skate Boots and the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. The game of roller derby is played on roller skates. The players wear helmets, elbow pads, wrist guards, and knee pads. The track is flat, not banked. Each 30-minute half is broken down into shifts called jams. The group of 8 players at the front is called the pack. The pack is made of players who play the position of blocker. Behind the pack is the 2 jammers. The jammers are the most important players on the track and are marked by a large star on their helmet. When the whistle blows, the jammers try to skate their way through the pack and out the other side, but they will be met with the hips, booty, and shoulders of the opposing team's blockers. When 2 bodies make contact on the track, this is called a block. Once the jammers have skated their way through the pack the first time, they're ready to begin scoring. They earn a point every time they legally pass a member of the opposing team. The team with the most points at the end of the game wins. The jammers will fail to earn points if they pass the opposing blockers illegally. Any player who performs an illegal action will earn a penalty. So what's illegal? Elbows, tripping, back blocking, and passing out of bounds. Any player who receives a major penalty has earned a trip to the penalty box. The jam ends when the lead jammer places her hands on her hips, or when 2 minutes has elapsed. 30 seconds later, a new jam begins, and the whole thing starts again.
Well, hopefully that was helpful. We want to thank the WFTDA for that video there. We couldn't do it without them. Literally, the sport would not run itself.
I would totally agree, and it's so nice to have a succinct little demonstration of how the things play, because left to my own devices, Dave, I could go on and on and on.
In all my years coming here, and this is about my 6th or 7th year of being a fan, it takes me all night to explain the game to a newcomer, and then they still have questions for the after party.
You're exactly right, boys. Well, we are about ready to get started here. As we do, we look at our officiating crew tonight. The only ref right now from Cincinnati is actually going to be Monty Zuma. The other refs we have this evening, I think we have the Charminator, we have Jaddy, and I cannot see the other ones right now for the life of me. We will get those for you shortly.
You know, one that I definitely want to mention is going to be our liaison ref, and he's the ref who's going to, when there are official reviews or things of that nature, officially hated, is going to be our liaison, and he's going to be able to tell us what's going on, what's being discussed, because from this vantage point, sometimes it's very difficult to figure out what's going on with those challenges or things of that nature. So, officially hated, we'll be saying his name quite a lot this evening, I'm sure.
So, gentlemen, you could say that since there is no home ref besides one, you really can't get a homer against you tonight because everyone's a visitor.
Pretty much exactly right, Dave. Well, we're going to have a big crowd here. As you can see, the Garden's starting to fill up now. We are going to get the, whether you see the juniors team breaking it down on the sideline for us. But the game will get started here. It will be the Violent Lambs versus the Brandywine Brawlers first. So be sure to stay tuned to this. Coming up, our next bout of the evening after our break is going to be the key matchup of the night. Is going to be the Brandywine Belligerents versus the home team, the Cincinnati Black Sheep. And it is going to be one heck of a game. So stick around with us here real quick as we get ready to go. Marty, anything you want to break down in the first game for us?
No.
I have never heard a resounding no like that. But here we go. Onto the court skates the Brandywine Brawlers. And they will be wearing black for the first match tonight as we get ready to introduce them right now.
So for those of you sitting at home not familiar with the Brandywine Roller Girls, they are certainly a new team on the scene here, getting official WFTDA status in 2013, and they've been making quite a name for themselves since. Out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, which is about 30 miles east of Philadelphia. So of course a very densely populated area such as Philly has got lots and lots of talent all over the place, and so I'm sure these the folks from Downingtown, represented by the Brandywine Roller Girls, are looking to make quite an impact here at the Cincinnati Gardens. Dave, what are your thoughts?
Well, you mentioned it right there, Marty. They are a brand new team. This is the B team, of course, but the Brandywine Brawlers just became WFTDA affiliated this past year in 2013. They debuted at 52, Marty.
That is something right there, absolutely. They've to jump that far that fast, they must be doing something right. So we're certainly looking forward to seeing that matchup about an hour and a half from now, but we certainly do not want to slight this matchup coming up here versus of the Cincinnati Violent Lambs versus the Brandywine Brawlers. Dave, you want to go ahead and run through the Brawlers roster?
Yes, really quickly. We have number 11, Ultra Shearer, 121, Crash Banshee Coot, 1542, Cynical, 20, Starbucks, and you know what? We're going to stop because now we've got the home team coming out right now.
Well, we're going to kick it over to our home announcer right now. Squints is on the mic, and he's going to introduce to you the Cincinnati Violent Lambs.
Yep. And introducing your home team, the Violent Lambs. Number 14, not available in stores, Genocide.
Turn up the lights in here, baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby. You know what I need, want you to see everything.
Number 19, Trudy Vicious.
Fast cars, shooting stars, all of the lights
Number 23, Ay Caramba.
If you want it, you can get it for the rest of your life.
Number 26, Carl Ridgway.
If you want it, you can get it for the rest of your life.
Ram.
I hold my head. MJ gone. I'm dead.
Seventh brother,
She called the feds. I did that time and spent that bread. I'm headed home. I'm almost there. I'm on my way. Headed up the stairs. To my
Surgeon's
surprise,
best friend, number 51, Susie Sims Felicity. Number 6, conductor of the pain train, Railroad. Second generation roller derby powerhouse, number 6, John, it's gonna hurt.
Restraining order. Can't see my daughter. Her mother, brother, grandmother hate me in that order. Public visitation.
Comes in 3 flavors, smoking, Caribbean, and thermonuclear. 71, hot for life.
Made mistakes. I bump my head. Court sucked me dry. I spent that bread. She need a daddy.
She's soft as
Baby,
granite,
please.
full of sandpaper, 74,
That ghetto
rock
university.
solid.
Top lights, flashlights, spotlights, strobe lights, street lights.
All of the lights, all of the lights.
Fast life,
Number 80, her boyfriend answers to Moonbeam, Chainsaw.
Lights in here, baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby.
Number 81, when she hits you, it'll leave a mark. I'm a tattooer.
To see all of the lights.
Get mine, baby. Gotta let this.
She went bowling last night at
Get
45.
right.
Number 99,
She
Sissy
go
Psycho.
get your Get mine, baby. Gotta let this.
And the captain of your home, Violent Lambs. Her brother really wants a wolf shirt. Number 27, Poppy Chulo. And your coaches, Quad Almighty and Hebrews.
Turn up the lights in here, baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby.
All right, and we are ready to be off here. Both teams lining up now as they get ready for the national anthem. And our national anthem tonight will be by that talented gentleman. Dave, would you do the honors?
It's my honor to perform with this man, Mr. Sean Meddy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A very well done job by our very own fan and friend, Sean P. Meddy.
Way to knock it out, Sean.
Well, we're getting ready to get off on this starting jam here. And this first jam brought to you by UC Health and Sports Medicine. So be sure to check them out. As we get started on the line, looks like it's going to be number 11 starting.
That is Ultra Shearer.
And it looks like we are sending out number 81, which is I'm a Tattooer, getting ready to start the initial jam of the 2014 home season of the Cincinnati Roller Girls.
In the pack for the Violent Lambs, number 6, Railroad, number 27, the captain, Poppy Chulo, number 69, Scunna Hurt, the rookie. Keep an eye on her, number 23, Ay Caramba. Good pack to start this sucker off. Let's see what we got.
Gentlemen, we've waited all winter. Now it's time to have some fun.
You can say that again. Here we go. It looks like 3, 2, 1, and nothing happened. Gosh, I love countdowns. Well, boys, in the pack for the Brandywine Brawlers, looks like it's going to be number 54, Jacqueline Heat, number 542. I'm not sure which one that. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Sin Equal. I can't see the 1542. 121, Crash Banshikoot. And then Marty, who's the last one there? Can you see her?
Yes, it looks like number 54, Jacqueline Heat.
Is it? I'm.
We'll
We'll get it for you.
Yeah,
675. Jen Hex. And we're off.
And Cynical is out there.
All right. I'm a Tattooer quickly working through the pack, getting around to corner 1 here. Knocked around there, getting bumped and bruised. She makes a sprint for it and gets the lead jammer position.
So the season starts off well thus far for the Violent Lambs as I'm a Tattooer gains lead jammer status, Dave.
You could see by the way they let I'm a Tattooer go forward, the other skaters just formed a wall and held their jammer back behind everybody.
Yeah, Cincinnati looking very good right now. Still unable to break the pack is the jammer for Brandywine Brawlers. And again, that is going to be number 11, Ultra Shearer, having a rough time going against, it looks like, Railroad and Poppy Chulo.
Ay Caramba certainly in the mix as well as Scunna Hurt. And what I'm seeing right off the bat, gentlemen, is a patience that I have not seen demonstrated here in Cincinnati for quite some time. This wall has absolutely zero panic or frustration or anything like that. It looks like Railroad is going to the box.
Yeah, there was a no pack called there, so we'll see what those penalties were. Didn't see what they were, but 2 players, one in the box, one for Cincinnati. It's going to be Railroad and Sin Ickle.
And I'm a Tattooer just called off the jam after getting another 4 points.
After 1, your score is 9-0. 28:30 left on the clock. Trudy Vicious comes out for Cincinnati, and number 23, Thresher, for the Brandywine Brawlers.
Now, Trudy is a jammer I'm very excited to watch. She's very athletic and she's very fast.
All right, as we go here in the pack, looks like Rock Solid, number 99, Cincy Psycho, number 80, Chainsaw out there making her debut. And wow, right away, Trudy Vicious.
Wasting no time at all, Nick of time. Trudy Vicious saw a little seam on the outside and took control. Lead jammer, Cincinnati.
No pack called.
If you look at the pack, the team for Cincinnati, again, is working as a team. Oh my gosh, she got in the air and nailed it.
Brilliant apex jump by Trudy Vicious, who, wow, comes on strong in this first jam of the home season.
So not all sunshines and lollipops. It looks like Cincinnati is adding some more personnel to the sin bin as Rock Solid is joining Railroad. The Tom and Chi officially sponsored penalty box, Nick of time.
You were right. I was going to mention that.
I felt you stomp on my foot.
I did. I'm sorry, Marty. There are official penalty box spots, so you will hear us say that quite a bit tonight.
Looks like in the jam we got Ultra Shearer back out there for the Brawlers, and we got Hot Slice taking her first jam of the night.
Hot Slice getting caught on the back end right now, behind a very good line there for Brandywine Brawlers. Meanwhile, though, Cincinnati blocks out Ultra Shearer. She's got 1 to beat now. She's unable to escape the pack, and Hot Slice through lead jammer.
Nick, you said something about patience, and Hot Slice just demonstrated there. She just held back, and then all of a sudden she saw a pocket and shot through it. What do you think about that, Marty?
I'm very, early going. It's all things go. There's a lot of patience there. Hot Slice is not going in with a ton of head of steam. She's being patient. She's eyeing the wall that she's coming across, and she's taking her time and getting through and getting points.
Yeah.
Looking good so far for Cincinnati.
Gotta agree, Marty. Your score right now, 17-2, 26-20 left on the clock. And again, like you said, Marty, it is a patient game right now, and we'll see who comes out on top in the end. But right now, Genocide making her debut as a jammer for Cincinnati versus Jacqueline Heat from Brandywine. Little jostling to begin with as Jacqueline Heat trying to push her way through and pushing that big Cincinnati line up front. It is just a foot race right now as both players trying to stick their point. And oh, wow! She is able to get through. That would be Chainsaw.
Oh, Scunner Hurt making her
Genocide.
presence known. As Jacqueline Hurt is about ready to break the pack, Scunner Hurt says, not so fast, young lady. In the meantime, Genocide is through, and she's in the mood to score some points. Nick of time.
Yeah, you're right, Marty. It looks good right now. Scunner Hurt definitely making her presence felt.
You also noticed Cincy Psycho working on the inside, and she held a nice block to free up a Genocide.
Couldn't agree more. This is a team right now, it looks like, Marty.
It really does. We're seeing a pack awareness where it's not individuals, not ships sailing by in the night. This is a cohesive unit, Nick of time. And I think this is the formula that Cincinnati has been really hungry to get, and it looks like they're able to execute thus far.
Yep, hopefully they keep their heads together here as we look like number 23, Thresher out there for the Brandywine Brawlers, and number 81, Ima Tattooer back out there. Ima goes outside, gets a big block there.
Woo!
And she goes down hard, comes right back up, takes the inside lane, and it's a foot race, and she makes it through. Lead jammer right there.
Between lanes 1 and 2, she just hugged that line. And I don't know how she didn't go out of bounds there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was a thing of beauty right there. Hot on her heels, though. Thresher already around and through. So it ends up being a draw as 4 points each that time. Your score 30-7, 24 left. Marty, what do you got?
Well, credit to Thresher there for getting through the pack, almost mimicking Ima Tattooer's steps, stride for stride, and was able to get through, get all her points before Ima Tattooer was able to call this the jam off. On the line now, Dave, we got number 19, Trudy Vicious, and for Brandywine, number 11, Ultra Sheer.
I was noticing we've gotten lead jammer, and Trudy Vicious gets another lead jam quickly. We've had lead jam in every single jam. What you've also noticed is they're calling it off quick. We're getting our points, and then we're not letting them score.
Oh, you're exactly right, Marty, and that's what you got to do right now. Is Trudy Vicious is putting on a clinic right now of apex jumping. And Trudy picks up 4 more there quick, lickety-split as everyone gets off the track, and another pack comes on. Hot Slice now taking the jammer hat, as it looks like Balerinka making her debut on the jammer line tonight. This next jam brought to you by the Northside Collective.
All right, so the countdown is complete. Hot Slice is off.
Now,
As is Balerinka, number 728 for Brandywine. Oh, a little outside wedge opens up, and the Hot Slice is quick to it, and she is your lead jammer, Dave.
it's so exciting to see Hot Slice back out there. She had an ACL injury last year. It takes about a year to come back with it. She skated on a bad knee, and she looks great tonight.
I have to agree wholeheartedly, Dave. It's such a great thing to see her back. Right now, Cincinnati still working her way against the Cincinnati Pack, rather, is Balerinka, and she is just getting stuck to like glue. It looks like ICRC just all over her as she goes down, and it looks like that's going to be a penalty on Scunna Hurt. Major forearm.
And that was the hit that kept on giving from Scunna. She's paying for it, but for the second time, Balerinka has hit the. Oh, now she's getting the business from Railroad and now ICRC. So it's very difficult. Papi Chulo doing a nice job, kind of bridging out, keeping that intact, that pack intact. They're saying that the Oh, it looks like
major.
a power jam is going to be, so Cincinnati has got a power jam on their hands as Balerinka is going to the box. Did you see what the penalty was?
It
I did
was
not.
a high block there. And she heads off to the Tom and Chi penalty box as Hot Slice has the rink to herself, and she will work against the 3-pack as the 4th comes back on right now. And she is basically on her own right now. Cincinnati forming a shuttle run on the side and letting her work on her own. Slice goes out, it looks like, and so she'll have to come back in, and she's going to perform a cut or a.
Oh, yeah, she cut. She almost had it and just didn't quite. So it's going to be an abbreviated time for Balerinka Barbie in the penalty box. But the flip side is that Hot Slice will only have to serve the time that Balerinka Barbie served, which in my opinion was somewhere in the 30 to 45 second range. So an abbreviated time in the box, the Tom and Chi penalty box. But so this is definitely an opportunity for Brandywine to put some to assert themselves and put some points on the board, Dave.
Yeah, now we've got Thresher on the line out there for the Brawlers.
Dave, break us down this replay real quick here.
Oh. So we've got, what's that? Caramba.
Okay. And back to the action. Thresher is the one and only jammer on the floor, and she is moving the pack. Credit to her. She is lead jammer for Brandywine. She really pushed Cincy Psycho and Rock Solid up, and they had to let her go.
Yeah, you're right there. She approaches the pack again and tries to cut right through, opens up a lane on the inside and takes it. Wow, good move there by Thresher. And again, Cincinnati still rather in the box. Hot Slice comes out. Hot Slice greeting the wall now, trying to run through it, trying to take that inside, goes outside. And right now, Brandywine doing a great job stacking her up.
Cincinnati a little more prepared for this scoring pass as Balerinka Barbie is kind of held to a standstill now. Oh boy, Cincy Psycho with a big hit. Now here comes Railroad with a big hit, but plenty of real estate, and down goes a ref on the apex. My stars, action is happening left and right, Nick of time.
I'll tell you, Hot Slice hot on the heels of Thresher though, and Thresher calls it off. Probably a good move there. Cincinnati picks up 0 that run. That will increase the Brandywine score here, and it looks like it's going to be 49 to, well, it says 17 right now, but I think we're going to get a score update here in 1 minute. 19 minutes to go here as Quite Almighty runs out to say something and then quickly runs back.
In that last jam, Skuna Hurt got a penalty, and she's now starting off the jam in the Tom and G penalty box.
All right. On the line right now is number 11, Ultra Shearher. And for Cincinnati, I believe it is number 14, which is Genocide again. Genocide goes outside, but all the way out in front already is Ultra Shearer. She gets the lead jammer spot, and Poppy Chulo heading off to the Tom and Chi. Oh, I'm sorry, Icarumba heading to the Tom and Chi penalty box.
Oh boy, right there, Genocide almost inadvertently knocking her jamming counterpart into the infield and then cut the track right in front of her. However, Genocide is going to the box as well for an infraction, so this is a little, sit down, get up, here we go.
It is a race to the penalty box to get in and then stand up out of the penalty box. It was like musical chairs there for a second.
Indeed it was.
Meanwhile, both jammers back out on the pack now. Genocide working her way inside, outside, and she is stuck right now behind number 1542, which of course is Sin Ickle from Brandywine. Genocide's out, but not lead jammer.
Skuna Hurt going for a big hit. I'm surprised she did not get called for a penalty there. This young lady is really asserting herself as a very aggressive skater, and coming from that lineage, Nick of time, no surprise there.
You're exactly right. Joanna Hurt, the mother of Skuna Hurt. There was an Inquirer article about them today, or recently this week.
Oh, another one.
And another huge hit from Skuna Hurt.
You gotta feel bad for all of the jammers for the Brawlers, because they're just getting hit after hit after hit.
Well, so
right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick. It looks like Ultra Shearer has gotten through. She has gotten 4 points on that scoring pass. However, there's no lead jammer, of course, because both jammers went to the penalty box. Oh, and speaking of which, Genocide is going to go back to the penalty box, a forearm, and that's unfortunate for Cincinnati. So it looks like this jam has come to its natural conclusion, Dave. But Brandywine is in business as a full minute will elapse before Cincinnati can have a jammer out on the floor.
This is definitely time for Brandywine to actually cut into the lead of Cincinnati right now. It's 56-26 is a 30-point differential. One jam could make that even very quickly.
You're exactly right. On the line for Brandywine to take on the pack with a full pack at her side is number 121, Crash Banshee Coot. And she is working her way up to the front there right now. Cincy Psycho able to help her go down. Railroad getting called on a penalty. She will be gone to the Tomachi penalty box.
Now here's where they need to be careful, Nick. Trying to thwart do a penalty kill. This is a lot of times when the blockers get a little reckless. Oh, and as I say that, well, Railroad's going to the box, but as I was in the middle of that boring thing, Crash Bandicoot has gone to the box for a forearm of her own. So here comes Genocide, and here we go.
Yep. Guantanamo Bay joining Crash Bandicoot in the box there as Genocide now working against the pack. She does a star pass, it looks like, and there it goes. Now we can actually say it. Star pass given to Hot Slice, it looks like, and Hot Slice, not the lead jammer, because of course.
Okay. This is a problem.
Oh, you know what?
The helmet panty was on inside out.
Yep, so it has to be on right side. So Hot Slice will have to redo that now.
Oh, but they're going to give her points anyways. Okay, so they went ahead and gave her the Grand Slam.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. So we'll see if there's a review on the horizon for Brandywine.
I can't believe there's a wardrobe malfunction in our very first game. What's amazing is to watch Hot Slice. She's so tiny and she's so fast, and she just weases her way through a pack. It's amazing to watch her out there.
Yeah, you said it right there. Hot Slice now again working I believe is there no lead jammer, Marty?
There is no lead jammer because there was a star pass. Oh, and there was no cut there because the opposing blocker went out of bounds as well. And number 121 started in the Crash Bandicoot. She started starting the jam in the penalty box does not disqualify you for it. So she must have incurred some sort of infraction that kept her from being lead jammer. So perhaps at no point, no pass or things of that nature. So the dust will settle. I would imagine if I was a Brandywine coach,
I'd be up.
that I would probably want a little clarification at this point.
All right. Let's take a look at the replay here. Dave, break it down for me.
All right, so you got Hot Slice. She put on the panty, but she has it inside out, so she doesn't get lead jammer there. So she goes around, and she realizes it by her bench tells her that she has it wrong.
Now, this is kind of a strange case here, folks. If you've never seen a star pass, only the pivot who wears the stripe helmet can actually take the star from the jammer. Right now, though, I'm a tattooer tearing up the track. Lead jammer spot, but hot on her heels is Brandywine's number 54, Jacqueline Heat. Jacqueline Heat now greeting the pack first, running into the front line of Cincinnati. Meanwhile, I'm a tattooer working inside, goes one to beat, and she takes the inside lane, gets it. She'll get 5 points there.
Credit to Mama Crash for slowing up number 54 there as Brandywine looked like they were about ready to create some distance. However, I'm a tattooer is lead jammer. She holds all the cards, but she wants to get a solid scoring pass and put more points up than her jamming counterpart before calling this one off. I think we see a cut. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Just as I was about to praise I'm a tattooer for how clean she has played so far, the curse of the announcer comes before me.
And
she'll be in the Tomachi
box is going to be I Caramba as well.
All right, so if I'm Cincinnati, I would really like to see it kind of rewind a little bit. The first 5 jams or so were so much calm, such confidence, things of that nature. They're nice hit by Poppy Chulo, forcing number 54 all the way back around. So it looks like the wall is kind of, they've caught their breath, so to speak, and now they're down to business. So we'll see. Oh boy, that was kind of interesting there. As number 54, the jammer for Brandywine, that would be Jacqueline Hurt, is regrouping and attempting to get through this wall.
Yeah, rock solid, doing a good job there, trying to take her out to the inside, and it doesn't work, unfortunately. Brandywine back in full strength.
In any event, that was 5 points the hard way, Nick of time.
Yes, it was, Marty. Oh, and a good move there by number 33, Hustle In, breaking up the wall to try and get some more points. And it does well. They pick up 3 on the tail end of that one.
So let's take a look. Let's take a look here, Dave. Perhaps you could break this one down for us here, as we have a replay on the horizon. And away we go.
All right, so she's going in swing. So she gets hit out of bounds, and she has to come back. And you're right, Poppy Chulo had a great hit there. So she had to earn her points, but man, she had to work for them that time. 3 skaters really made her pay.
Indeed, they have. Number 121 for Brandywine on the line now, and she's got all the. She's got a lot of. Oh, she's through now. Almost. Oh, it looked like she was almost not through. Lead jammer for Brandywine, and that, of course, is Crash Banshee Coos.
Meanwhile, I'm a tattooer out of the pack as well, and out of that Tom and Shade penalty box. Reading the pack, and the jam is called off. This next jam brought to you by BB Worldwide Graphics. Check them out. Coming up next on the line, that rising Violent Lamb star, Trudy Vicious.
So, gentlemen, after a hot start by the Violent Lambs, Brandywine is slowly but surely getting back into this thing. It is an 80-55. It's a 25-point game thus far. So, or excuse me, a 35-point.
Yep.
Thank you. And away we go. Oh, big hit, big hit.
Oh.
Who was that?
That was
Scunner-Hurt.
Scunner-Hurt.
Scunner-Hurt is making a
Once
name
again.
for herself right now.
I'll tell you what, but in the meantime, it frees up Trudy Vicious. And I'll tell you what, it's an all-out brawl going on right now as Scunner-Hurt is stuck to number 3, Guantanamo Bay, jamming finally out of the pack, though. Trudy Vicious hot on her heels.
All right, looks like Rock Solid is going to the Chomp and Chi penalty box.
Well, I'll tell you what, this game going very well early on for Cincinnati. Guantanamo Bay now trying to swing this momentum, and she goes down from a huge hit by number 4, I believe. I'm sorry, 34.
They tried to measure up Trudy Vicious right there, and she just made them all miss and worked her way through the pack.
Wow, a great run there for Cincinnati to pick up some more. This brings your score to 89-55. 9:22 left on the clock here. And again, as we said before, this one could go either way. We say it all the time, but if you've never seen a game before, 30 points in a solitary jam is nothing to brag about. I mean, it'll happen occasionally every now and then, and I would say almost every game.
Indeed, there are a couple variables need to fall in place, but every game it seems to happen at least 2 to 3 times. So now Hot Slice on the line for the Violent Lambs. She is wiggling her way through. She's getting close to getting to the front. Indeed, she is. She is through. She's your lead jammer, Dave.
Thresher there, caught up on the back end by a good hit by ICRC-TV, who cycles around and makes her come in all the way behind the pack.
The one thing you've noticed out of Cincinnati blockers so far is they were doing pair blocking in their warm-ups, and it's really paying off in the game.
You know, I got to give the coaches credit there, Quad Almighty, and of course our other coach, Hebrews. They've instituted a lot of new things, and they seem to be making a huge difference.
Indeed, it's a revisiting fundamentals, getting that solid foundation, and making the pack play as a unit, and that is the key thing. This game is quite simple. Stay out of the box, score points, and you're going to be fine. So when the Violent Lambs are able to do that, they're in great shape. Now, when they get a little desperate, that's when things kind of fall apart a little bit. So there was a few jams where Brandywine was able to get back into it a little bit, but now it looks like the Violent Lambs have taken control, Dave.
And speaking of scoring points, I'm a tattooer is back out there for Cincinnati, and she's just been a monster. She's tall, she's fast, but you can't knock her over because of her height and her strength.
Yep, she is a strong skater and showing off her skills right now. Ultra Thresher gets upended by Railroad, and she goes down.
A 1-2 punch of Scunner-Hurt and Railroad, and it's tough going. Susie Sinsplinski in on the front as well.
Yeah, it is a crazy pack. Oh, and an open lane on the outside lets Ultra Thresher through. Or I'm sorry, Ultra Shearer. My mistake. I'm a tattooer also out of the pack, though.
Dave, so we got a rare jam in which I'm a Tattooer is not the lead jammer. Let's see how things turn about. Oh, it looks like the Lambs are taking care of business there, knocking her silly to the ground and forcing her hand, calling it off. But it's she does get 2 points out of that versus the 0 points for I'm a Tattooer.
That
Fortuitous timing there, Dave.
That was Susie Shins that knocked her out. It was a fantastic hit.
Outstanding veteran. Yes, Nick.
Your score right now, 91-57, 6:41 to go in the first half of this one. There will be a second half. But on the line right now, Trudy Vicious and number 728, Balerinka Barbie. As we get ready to go, jammers off. This jam brought to you by C&D Northside Bar. Trudy Vicious cutting the inside lane, trying to go right through the defenders. And she's got 1 to go, skates that inside line, makes it, and gets the lead jammer spot again.
That's an example, gentlemen, of where a good defense provides offense. And so Trudy Vicious was able to get, oh, there's another one! Another apex jump, and this crowd is a tizzy.
You can just tell Trudy Vicious is out there. She's having fun, and she's earning points, and she's exciting. She's so exciting to watch.
Oh, and she takes another beautiful inside line. Trudy Vicious rapidly becoming a fan favorite tonight.
I'm telling you, some standout players. We're not even 25 minutes into this first bout of the year, and Trudy Vicious is making herself known. Scunna Hurt, I'm a Tattooer, Hot Slice, no surprise there. But but Trudy Vicious is through for yet another 5-point scoring pass.
You know, I've been very impressed all night about the jammer rotation so far. We've seen several people jamming tonight.
Yes.
And Trudy seems to be making a great mark. Ima's doing great. Genocide is doing well. I mean, who do you choose?
I don't know. Let's talk about these blockers. Of course, we've been talking Scunna Hurt. Oh, there's another big takedown by number 99 for the Violent Lambs, and that, of course, is Cincy Psycho. This is her 3rd year, and each year, gentlemen, she is getting better and better and better. I cannot wait to see how she ends this year.
Yeah, out there also Susie Shinsplinski, and I believe it is number 26, Mama Crass. Well, a familiar face from a different team.
Absolutely, Mama Crass has really established herself as a real leader on the floor and off the floor as well. As Trudy Vicious gets pinched to the inside, decides to call off the jam. Oh, she is going to be called for a cut. Well, wait a minute. Now, how is she able to call off the jam when she's going to the box for a track cut? I don't get it, guys.
That is interesting. We might see Quad, and we do see him go out to argue this, because the argument being that Trudy Vicious had called off the jam, but then she incurred a track cut.
Right, now of course, action goes until the 4th whistle blast. So this is definitely going to be, it looks like an official review. Quad Almighty will be using his official review. So all the players, captains and coaches from both teams will make their way to the infield. A zebra conference will ensue, and we will see what's going on. And personally, I can't wait to hear from Officially Hated.
Yeah, Officially Hated going to be our liaison here, as the Zebras do a huddle right now. Marty, what are your thoughts on replay for roller derby?
Oh, replay's awesome. You know, there's so much action that goes on all sides of the floor, and occasionally you miss things. You're fixated on the jammer maybe, or perhaps that stellar blocker, and sometimes you lose sight of some amazing play by other players. So the replay is a great way for us to kind of take the clock back a little bit and take a look at the play as a whole.
Yep. Well, let's go over some of our great sponsors this evening while we have the time. We want to thank Street Art Customs, Retrocentric, Quality Printing and Design, as well as, let me see, who else we got? I mean, we could go on and on about the Northside Collective. We have Spun Cycles, we have Blink, we have Palette 23, the event space, the Listing Loon, Mayday, Junkers Tavern, the Tantrum, Sidewinder Coffee, the Comet Bar, Bill's Barbershop, the Northside Tavern, and of course the Northside Surplus. Well, we'll figure out what this penalty is here in 1 second. Marty, what do you think it's going to be? What if you had to wager? What's the decision?
I'll tell you what, let's take a look at the replay, because I'm honestly not sure here. So we're looking at certainly slowed down a little bit. Trudy Vicious is actually on the infield, and it's a little difficult to see from that vantage point. Now, the blockers heard the whistle blast, and they went ahead and went to the bench. So this is a weird one. Dave, what do you got for me? I'm totally confused.
All right, well, from the officials, it was a challenge on the call on Trudy Vicious, and after review, it stands. There is no more explanation than that.
Okay, so the call does stand. So Trudy Vicious in the box for Cincinnati, and right now Brandywine on a power jam. They send out number, I believe, I'm actually, I can't tell. But she is up in front, and we'll get you a number here in 1 second. Number 11.
Ultra Sheer.
There we go. Ultra Shearer now reading a 4-pack of Cincinnati at a full pack right now. It looks like I Caramba and
This
Poppy
is where they got to be
Chulo.
careful here. Oh, I Caramba right at the verge, right on the verge of having to let her go. Knocks her out of bounds. Oh, she is going to the box for a forearm major on that.
Oh,
However, not all penalties are created equally, gentlemen. That one, as far as I'm concerned, was worth it.
That one hurt a little bit, but it was worth it. Still in
Oh.
back for Cincinnati, number 80, Chainsaw.
Careful,
Chulo
ladies, careful, ladies. Here
and
we go.
Railroad.
Oh, Railroad saw the sign, and she delivered, and she landed that hit.
You
Good
gotta
job
love
there.
what the blockers are
Look out for that
doing.
apex. There it is.
And it's good. Trudy
well,
Vicious.
It was her initial pass, and no points on
No
that one. But
points.
it's still exciting nonetheless. Anytime I see an apex jump, I just get a little excited.
Well, here's that huge hit. Dave, you want to break it down for me?
All right, so Icaramba's just riding her between turns 3 and 4. And right when the ref is going to tell her they'll have to let her go, she knocks her out right there. Unfortunately, she does get called for the forearm, so she has to go to the penalty box. But as Marty said, that was a penalty that was well worth it.
And from that vantage point, guys, I know it's a little hard to call it as it's happening, but that looked clean to me.
Yep. In the words of Mighty Ducks 2, 2 minutes, well worth it.
Speaking of clean, Hot Slice just went on the inside of the track and got past everyone before we even blinked.
Yes, she did. Hot on her heels, 54, Jacqueline Heat. And they greet the pack, and neither one takes points. Score remains the same. Your score right now, 111 to 60 with 2 minutes to go.
Dave, what I liked on that was the patience exhibited by Hot Slice. She's lead. She's at the precipice of making points happen, but she knew that it wasn't quite there, so she went ahead and called it off. 0-0. Lived to fight another day.
Marty, you're exactly right. That's a big difference than last year. Last year, she probably would have tried to fight through it. Maybe the other jammer gets through. They both get points. It's null either way. Might as well call it.
Thresher out there for Brandywine right now. And for Cincinnati, it's going to be Genocide again. Genocide through the pack. She will be your lead jammer, but hot on her heels. And about half a track back is going to be number 23. And that's Thresher again. And that one is called. No points either way.
We have just a minute 10 left in the half. We got an official score. Violent Lambs 111 and the Brawlers 60.
So we'll have time for at least one more jam, perhaps more than that. I'm a tattooer on the line for Cincinnati, number 81, and Starbucks for number 20 for Brandywine.
Yep. As we get set to go here, we'll see who happens, or what happens, rather. I'm a tattooer and Starbucks on the line. I'm a looking outside, sees an open lane, and it was like three blind mice there. No one saw her coming.
Asleep at the wheel. Great patience demonstrated by Ima, waiting for that gap to just create itself. Well done.
Sometimes when a jam starts, we have the best seats because we see a window like that open, and she just nailed it.
And bad news for Brandywine as Starbucks headed off into the Tom and Chi penalty box. I'm a tattooer, has all the time she needs to wear this one out.
So this will more than likely be, no, actually it looks like Quad and Hebrews are compelling their jammer to call it off so they can get one more in.
And Ima does not see them, but she does call it finally. But wow, it's funny being by the coaches and seeing the skater on the opposite side. Marty, you know what that's like.
You know, it's only 60 feet away, but it may as well be an ocean. It is the farthest distance, and when they're not looking over and you're trying to convey the message. But also, don't let that take away. A great half by the Lambs, great half by Ima Tattooer. We have an unofficial, well, it looks like the Violent Lambs are doubled up, 120 to 60. So they started off like gangbusters, gentlemen. Brandywine kind of worked her way back in, Dave. And it looks like the control has been taken once again by the Violent Lambs.
It definitely looked like at the beginning of the game they were using patience. They had everything their coaches had said in their heads. But maybe the adrenaline took over for a little bit, and they were reacting, getting into the heat of the action, and they calmed down a bit. It seemed like the official review kind of calmed them down. And I'm a Tattooer has just been fantastic, and the blockers have been amazing. They're knocking them down, and they're making them hurt.
Great jammers are only as good as their pack, and their pack has been phenomenal tonight. All right, well, I think we are going to take a little bit of a halftime break here, but before we do, if you are looking or interested in playing roller derby, check out these websites here. The first one up top there, CincinnatiRollergirls.com, home of everything Cincinnati Roller Girls. You can also find them at Facebook.com/Cincinnati Roller Girls. Or if you're interested in playing Junior Derby, CincinnatiRollergirls.com/Junior Derby or Facebook.com/Cincinnati Junior Roller Girls. Of course, the men's team as well. We got to give a shout out to them. The Cincinnati Battering Rams, and it is CincinnatiBatteringRams.com as well as Facebook.com/Cincinnati Battering Rams. Your score at the half, 120-60. Join us in the second half for the second half of the Cincinnati Roller Girl Violent Lambs versus the Brandywine Brawlers. Welcome back to the second half of live action here at the Cincinnati Gardens. You are watching the Cincinnati Violent Lambs versus the Brandywine Brawlers. The score at the end of the first half was 120-60. And wow, what a first half it was. Dave, what did you think?
I was really impressed with our blockers at the beginning of the game and through the whole half, really. Cincy Psycho, Railroad, and ICRC have been great. They've been around. And Skuna Hurt, she's been living up to her name. She's been hitting really hard. And you expect someone maybe in their first game to possibly be timid, but she's been knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, I got to agree. Skuna Hurt making her rookie presence felt early and often in this game here right now. Also, I got to give a quick shout out to everyone watching worldwide, whether you are in Brandywine, whether you're in Cincinnati, whether you are in St. Louis and you're a member of the arch rival Roller Girls, or Toronto, and we have friends all over the world. If you want to talk to us here on the broadcast, or even to say something that we might be able to get on the air for you, if you tweet us at Cincy Roller Girl or at Cincy Nick of Time, or Coach Marty, what is your Twitter handle?
Coach Marty at CRG, or yes, Coach Marty CRG at Twitter.
Coach Marty CRG. So, and Dave, I know you have one as well.
I'm at Dave F. and Powell.
So yes, you can find us all on your screen there as well. If you want to talk to us, type in the hashtag #2CRG, and we'll see if we can get you on the air here. Otherwise, we'll get ready to start the second half of action. Marty, break down what you liked about that first half.
I like the pack play. I like the jamming patience. Mainly, it starts with the pack, though, and they are playing as a cohesive unit. They, for the most part, are not taking it upon themselves to make big plays. They're letting the action come to them. And if they're beat, they're letting themselves be beaten, and you can always fight for another day. Well, I'm not seeing a lot, there are a few, but I'm not seeing a lot of silly penalties, desperate forearms, out of play type of things. These are the things that kill packs, because it's a lot easier to play when there's 4 blockers on the floor as opposed to if there's only 2. It makes it very, very difficult when you have a numbers disadvantage in the pack. So for the most part, the Violent Lambs have been able to keep the personnel on the floor, and when they are successful. When they're not, that's when Brandywine's starting to claw their way back in there.
Yeah, it's the scent of desperation, as I like to say, when you commit so many bad penalties that they keep on adding up, and it makes you come close to losing it, or if not lose. And the little things add up in this sport if you've never watched before. Other than that, Dave, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, you're noticing a lot, kind of like in football, when you've got your wide receivers making the big flashy plays, you've got your linemen really just in there suffering,
Doing
not
the
maybe
dirty
getting
work.
getting a lot of dirty work, not getting the glory. But then you've got I'm a Tattooer just scored unofficially. I think she had the most points in that half. And then you had Trudy Vicious, who's taking the line right now with her apex jumps. Super exciting to watch.
Yeah, it has been a great time too. Also, if you're going to watch the replay of this, we'll get to the replay times here coming up as well at some point. But in the meantime, it looks like we are starting off on a power jam left over from the last half there. And Trudy Vicious is going to be the one starting on the line for Cincinnati with a solid pack of Chainsaw. It looks like Susie Shinsplinski, Cincy Psycho, and number 26, Mama Crass again out there. So a big line for Cincinnati to start the line.
It's the poweriest jam that ever powered. You know, you got a full house in the box, in the Tom and Chi penalty box, the jammer for Brandywine, and 2 blockers. So kind of like what I was saying before, the sport is much easier to play when you have that numbers advantage. So let's see. Trudy Vicious really hasn't needed a whole lot of help. She's spotting itty-bitty little seams. She's been, I think, at least 3 to 4, possibly even more apex jumps. She's very, very shifty and squirrely out there. She's a hard one to get a read on. So this could open up to be it could set the tone for the second half.
Yep.
So everything on paper, at least, is set up for a big jam for the Violent Lambs here, guys.
Yep. Marty, you know better than anyone else that this game is 40% mental and 80% physical, so we'll see what happens in this half.
Math never was your strong suit, Nick.
You were exactly right. That's why I announced. But Trudy Vicious, meanwhile, trying to work her way against a 2-pack up front, gets out, lead jammer, nothing to it before turn 2.
You really got to feel for Velociraptor and Drop, Pop, and Lock right there. They really couldn't do anything to keep her in.
I mean, you're right. What can you do when you have 2 players? It's basically, hunting season out there.
Yeah, you just try to clog up the middle the best you can. Make the jammer exert some sort of effort. You hope to tire her out. Brandywine's doing actually a pretty good job with just 2 people out there. But 10 quick points for the Violent Lambs, instructed by the sideline to go ahead and call it off. And the reason by doing this is so they could start the next jam with Hot Slice on the line with no jammer for Brandywine. Nick at time, what do you got for me,
You were
buddy?
exactly right. I was going to point that out, that we do have a standing jammer in the box right now, which means that she will be able to come out. That means she's got less than 10 seconds in the penalty box, so she can come in. But meanwhile, Hot Slice is going to get a hot jump here to see if she can get through the 2-pack of 156, which I believe is... I'm sorry, I don't have numbers for you. 542 and 121. So that's going to be
Cynical is one.
Crash Banshee-Coot. But Hot Slice does quick work at her first.
So out of the box for Brandywine is Starbucks, number 20, with the face shield. Dave, what are you seeing out there, buddy?
Starbucks is out there, and she's getting hit again by all of our blockers. Scunna Hurt is back out there, and I'm trying to see who the other 2 are. Looks like Railroad's one of them.
I'm not going to be insulting here at all, but right now Starbucks kind of reminds me of like a sloth, slowly and patiently working her way through. And that's not meant in any way to be an insult, but she is just like meticulously trying to work her way around, not relying on speed, but just relying on that. And then she gets a good hold there.
Yeah.
Everything.
Indeed, Nick, I'm sorry, Hot Slice doing a nice job of using the blockers where they were on the floor to create some offensive lanes for her. So Papi Chulo gets an offensive block there by simply just, doing what she was doing by taking up the real estate she already was. Now Hot Slice on this pass is coming up against with a little bit more obstruction, gets knocked to the inside, looking at the ref, seeing if she is indeed lead. She is. She calls it off. 2 points on that pass. I believe it was 9 points all told, but I could be wrong on that one.
Yeah, your score right now, 27:30 left on the clock, 142-60. Cincinnati on top over Brandywine. Thresher going to take the line for Brandywine, and I'm a Tattooer back on her inaugural season back again. And she's going to get ready to do some damage once more here.
So, Nick, I'm going to build on your metaphor there. I would actually like to convince you it's kind of like the Swamp of Sadness from Neverending Story. When you watch the jammers for the Brawlers, if they get too sad, they just sink in and they can't get out.
What a very great and obscure reference from our childhood.
My nerd card has been revoked, guys, so I'm going to just talk about the game. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I'm a tattooer's through. However, she is not lead jammer. Oh, a cut for the Brandywine, though, is number 23. Thresher is on her way to the box. So no lead jammer. This is going to go a whole 2 minutes as Brandywine's trying to unload on Ima. Ima says, no.
Yeah,
None of
Ima
that.
does a face-forward dive there, gets back up, and works her way around again. Ima greeting the pack. It is a 3-on-4, 4 for Brandywine in the pack, and Ima gets a solid booty block there from 32-20. That's going to be Velociraptor.
Yep. Well done by the Brandywine blockers. Ima not demonstrating a ton of patience. At that point, when that wall is set up, you need to come in. You need to come in at a stop pretty much. And then just work your way, keep moving your skates, making yourself narrow, try to wean your shoulders through and try to make a seam. She was just trying to bulldoze through and not having a lot of success. Looks like she's running out of gas a little bit as Brandywine is keenly aware of the pack position and decided to bring it all the way back.
Yeah, that is a beautiful move by Brandywine. I got to give it to him. Skating 3/4 the way back, almost to the halfway mark of the track, it seemed like. And for me, Ima has to let them make the first move here. She is working, but wow, uneven seen until the last blockers, but beautifully contained by Railroad. Thresher comes out of the box and gets upended there.
So 5 points on the board. Again, no lead jammer, so 5 points on that pass for Ima, 4 points on the pass for Brandywine. So this is going to go for, another 5 seconds. Okay, well, it's not going to be that much.
It's going to go a full 2 minutes.
A full 2 minutes,
You
but
are
that's
correct.
only 5 seconds from now. And it's over. So
Hey, Marty, we're all knocking off the rust. I didn't notice the
we
clock
are.
either.
So Thresher on her way back to the box again for this time a track cut. So great, good luck for the Violent Lambs there as Truda Vicious is going to skate unopposed for 1 full minute.
And this is the part of the game where we start looking at these penalties start to accrue. And again, you can be ejected from a game if you get too many penalties.
Absolutely. 7 trips to the box equals 1. See you later. So you will be ejected from the game for culminating 7 trips to the box. And so I believe Trudy Vicious, nicely done and through, finds a little soft spot in the middle and is your lead jammer.
Yeah, a good run there.
So, Marty, you actually hit the nail on the head in the last jam. You can kind of see in I'm a Tattooer a little frustration on her face. And every time she had to go back another turn, you could just see her rolling her eyes against their team.
Yeah.
What'll be interesting to see is how Quad and Hebrews use their personnel. Are they going to rest her a little bit? It looks like she had some tired legs on that last jam. And with everybody else jamming so well, Truda Vicious,
Hot Slice,
Genocide, they don't really need her at this point. So it might behoove them to have her cool her heels for a few jams, get wind beneath her wings again, and before she's sent out as a jammer. Oh boy, Truda Vicious on the way for a back block she's going to the Tom and Chi penalty box, gentlemen. Tom and Chi is one of the best eateries around in Cincinnati. Of course, you should eat their cheese, their grilled cheese. You should eat their soup.
You know what actually made that even more tragic was right before she got called, Quad wanted her to call off the jam too.
That's always the way it seems to work.
Yep.
That's always the way it seems to work. But meanwhile, Thresher out of the box and working against, and she is out and not lead jammer. That was her initial pass coming out of the penalty there. And she will get a work here on her initial scoring pass. It is a 3-on-4 in favor of Cincinnati here as O'Behave out there, Poppy Chulo, Scunnaher, and I believe number 26,
right,
which is going to be Mama Crass again.
And a lot of times, there we go. She is through. She is through for 5 points. So Brandywine is starting to eat away at Cincinnati's lead just a little bit. Dave, I think we got Trudy Vicious in at least for another 30 seconds or so. So this pack has their hands full.
Trudy Vicious standing.
Yeah, she is standing now, and looks like this jam has just been called.
Smart move there if that was not the clock. And it wasn't. But your score right now, 169-72, 22:30 left on the clock in the second half of this game.
You've got Jacqueline Heat out there on the line for the Brawlers, and she's out there by herself because our jammer will start in the box.
Yep. Trudy Vicious in the box, still in that Tom and She penalty box. Also, speaking of sponsors, be sure to visit our sponsor of the after party this evening, Mad Tree Brewing Company. They are great, and we will talk about them more later. But meanwhile, Trudy Vicious out of the box, sees an open lane on the inside, just did not even see her coming. Brandywine sleeping on that one. and Trudy Vicious takes the lead jammer spot away, literally stole it.
You know, it kind of reminds me, in years past, I think Cherry Choke is probably the best example of this. It's like they have a cloaking device. They just disappeared. They completely are not there according to the opposing blocker. So a lot of times they're able to get through absolutely unopposed. So but Trudy Vicious, nice job. However, she's on her way to the box. That is bad news. What's the penalty, boys?
I did not see that. It's a high block there.
Yes, it is.
So Trudy goes back to the box. So she didn't have enough of a rest the first time, so she's going to get another minute here.
Well, she's going to have company in there. Cincy Psycho is actually going to the box with her as well. Looks like she got called for a cut.
In those bright yellow Tom and Chi penalty box chairs. A good hit there.
The railroad, excuse me. Nice hit, but it kind of jostled her into a better position, and so Jacqueline Hurd will probably take that every day. It's interesting to see the Power Jam, what kind of offensive, it looks like Brandywine's really into offensive blocking, which is something that I like to see. Now the downfall is it kind of gets the pack moving, and it makes it, if the wall is able to hold, it makes it, the speed gets picked up, and Brandywine is compelled to skate along with the wall. However, the offense is not really paying off at this point, but Railroad is going to the box now, so full up box now. So just two skaters on the floor for Cincinnati.
And a beautiful job there, too, to make a two-wall. And again, wow, chainsaw and rock solid doing damage. Oh, and right now, Brandywine coming in, trying to sweep him into the inside, and it does work. It does free number 54.
Crash Banshee with a very nice inside offensive block to free up her jammer, but Trudy Vicious is out on the floor. She's got one to beat. She's got 4 points to her name. Of course, she broke the pack. She made her initial pass, and then she went to the box on a scoring pass, so she was eligible to score points right from the box. Yes.
What was really impressive was Chainsaw knocked out their jammer 2 or 3 times to stall them. Knocked her out in turn 4, then knocked her out between turns 4 and 1, and it was a great team effort right there to make sure the damage was minimal on that jam.
Yeah, it really was. I also like to see the backwards skating directing traffic by Chainsaw. It's a brilliant move, and it worked out well, holding off a majority of the points that would have been there. As this timeout is taken, it looks like Brandywine having a little bit of team meeting in the track as Coach Chops and Rat are out there giving some pointers here. Referees circling up in the meantime here. Dave, tell me about Mad Tree.
Mad Tree is one of the best things in Cincinnati. It actually just celebrated its first birthday last month, and it's the official sponsor of our after party. You can go there. It's up in Oakley. It's 10 minutes away.
Sounds good. Well, tell you what, Dave, Marty, break down this replay for me.
Oh, absolutely. So looks like we have at this point we have 3 blockers in the pack for the Violent Lambs. It looks like a Railroad cutter to the inside, trying to race back to incur a track cut. Very close, but I don't believe one was awarded. But it was a nice effort to keep with just 2 skaters now at this point on the line or on the floor for the Violent Lambs. It's
just
great
absolute
blocking.
clinic.
Very nice.
Yeah, Chainsaw knocking her in the inside there. You didn't even see it on the tail end of that one. But starting out this next jam, number 34, which is going to be drop, pop, and lock, a change-up of pace here for Brandywine, and hot slice out there for Cincinnati.
Yeah, drop, pop, and lock was an alternate coming into this evening. Her name was called up as Mary Death Star was teamed out for this game. So the alternate is got the jammer panty on. She's working her way through, but not before Hot Slice is able to get through herself and get lead jammer status.
Oh, I love the speed, though, in the pack right now of drop, pop, and lock. She has got a sudden burst that is helping her. Scunner Hurt has to let her go by, but Cincinnati doing damage there as 2 bleed off to the box. As I say that, the Tom and Chi penalty box filling up with Cincinnati blockers.
Boy. Now, Poppy Chulo is the lone representative of Violent Lambs blocking-wise now. Now Railroad is out as well. Now, when Railroad had less than 10 seconds, she stands up. Her spot in the penalty box is freed up. So at that point, 3 blockers can be in the box, and that's what happened right there. Oh, boy, Railroad swings and misses for a big hit there. Poppy Chulo not able to wedge her to the outside, so the alternate has got 5 points to her credit.
And she is going to have some more time to work with here as Hot Slice headed to that Tom and Chi penalty box for a bite or 2 as she is going to sit down here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and that was a heavy hit that knocked down, and that is going to be a head injury, it looks like.
We're going to go ahead and kind of dial things down just a little bit here. We have, roller derby is a it's a violent sport. Let's face it, and it's full contact, and they have helmets and knee pads and elbow pads and all that, but injuries are just a fact of the game. And fortunately, though, any of these sanctioned games under the WFTDA rules, we have to have certified EMTs. We have to have an ambulance at the ready at the venue. So everything is. And good news there. It looks like she's sitting up right now. So a warm ovation from the crowd. She's okay. It looks like a little shaken up.
We don't want to speculate on what it is, but
right.
She will sit down the next jam here to be checked out.
She definitely heard the back of her head popped audibly against the concrete. So, fortunately, she's up. She's certainly coherent. She doesn't look woozy at all. Yes, Nick.
Oh, I was going to say we have a replay of it here. We're going to show you real quick here on the screen. As you take a look here, she comes around the corner, and she's just going to get a nice side block. And it just goes down, and you don't even see her head hit, but you can tell it does in that shot there.
It is obscured by the ref and the NSOs. However, I got a perfect vantage point from it, and it definitely popped up pretty good. But this is the 9th year for the Cincinnati Roller Girls, and it's in a quantum leap. It may as well be 50 years in terms of advancements in equipment and things of that nature. So it's a dangerous game, but it is played with the absolute best equipment possible to, years in year 2, year 3, that might have been a very serious injury. Unfortunately, it looks at this point it is not. Nick of time.
Crash Bandicoot racing now in this jam solo right now, as again, Trudy Vicious stuck in the box. Cincinnati now up to a full pack, it looks like. And right now, she is working away on the inside there. Kind of a shame that Drop, Pop, and Lock not able to finish that last jam, because it was her first jamming, and she was doing a great job there. Meanwhile, she is making her way through here, and Crash Bandicoot doing some damage. Dave?
Yeah, we had I Caramba and Scunnaher come back out of the box. We still have Hot Slice in there, but she is up on her skates now, and they call the jam off to keep her in there at the start of this one.
And the ref crew deemed that she passed 2 sets of hips, although it looked like the wall was pretty well intact. However, he certainly has a better vantage point than I at this point in time. So 2 points, so 7 points total for Brandywine on that. So,
Dave, let me tell you about Marty and how he used to be a coach.
I was about to say, it seemed like some of his old instincts were coming out there.
You can see that every game here when you come and see Coach Marty live. On the line now, number 54, that is going to be Jacqueline Heat again. And this next jam brought to you by Southpaw Prince. And right now, Hot Slice in the jam now, packed very thin, but Jacqueline Heat able to get through first. Hot Slice taking an outside lane and tripped up there by 86.75. That's Jen Hex.
No call there as a low block from my vantage point. You know, guys, it's really, it helps because I've never gotten a call wrong. So it makes my job a lot easier. So I can say for certain what is a penalty and what isn't. So
that brings about the end of that jam. In the meantime, this next jam brought to you by Quatman's Cafe, and a timeout taken by, looks like Brandywine. It is a timeout. So let's go through some of our other great sponsors. We want to thank the Skate and Play, Cincinnati's premier family fun roller skating center, as well as DOS Gym. If you want to try some CrossFit, go there and they will get you ripped.
Now, I have to agree with Marty here. When I was watching him as a coach, I actually thought he was the best referee in the arena as well.
I will give Marty credit that Marty knows the sport. You've been with the sport for how many years, Marty? Have you been here since the beginning?
Well, I actually, on the subject of reffing, I started out as a ref. Now, I wasn't here from day one. I came in into the fold about 2 to 3 months into the existence of Cincinnati Roller Girls. But I did ref for the first year, and to give you an idea, the entire rule set for roller derby was printed on one double-sided 8.5 by 11. So if anybody is familiar with the rule set these days, you'll know things have changed quite a bit. In fact, we didn't wear pads. We were like, well, we're not the ones skating, and we're skating, but we're not in contact, So we didn't wear pads, no helmets, or anything like that. So again, a lot of things have changed in a relatively short amount of time as this game has grown from its. Cincinnati Roller Girls started in 2006. They got a cup of coffee in 2005, late 2005, to see if, just as to see if this was something that they were looking to pursue, starting a roller derby team in Cincinnati. Of course, the history of the renaissance of flat track roller derby can be attributed to Texas several years before that. But by and by, I've seen this sport grow from something fledgling, 100 maybe people in a roller rink to what it is today, which is thousands of people coming, paying good money to watch outstanding competition and having a great time. Nick of time.
I was going to say, there's our relatively tiny pyramid tonight over in the pyramid corner. It looks like we do have two, but it is hootie time in the corner there.
It's actually it's obscured by my pile of lozenges over here.
Oh, actually, we have three pyramids. I am sorry. We do have three, and I'm so sorry, Marty.
Oh, my.
Marty is having a problem with his throat this evening, so we'll give him a small break here. We also want to say thank you to the Cincinnati pit crew for making an appearance tonight. We had some pit bulls and other things out there in the front lobby. If you have a chance, nothing does justice to roller derby on TV. You have to come out. You have to come see the game. And tell me, what was that about, Dave?
So that timeout was Black was challenging if there was a cut on Hot Slice there, and the no call was confirmed.
Okay, so the referees determined that they were right, as they always are.
Well, they checked in with Marty.
Well, of course. That's why they ran over to talk to Marty.
No comment.
Well, it looks like number 23 on the line right now, and that's going to be Thresher taking on, I believe, I'm a Tattooer, number 81. I'm back out there. Hopefully she's got enough rest on those legs. And she is working her way to the outside, gets pushed to the outside, comes back in around her other player, but that is going to be a cut. Almost as blatant as daylight.
Yeah. That was one where I have to agree with the refs.
Not that we ever don't. We love our officiating crew here this evening. They are great, and we couldn't do the sport without them. God knows we're not an integral part of the sport, but they are. Nonetheless, it looks like Thresher is through for the lead jammer spot and back around already, going to work her way through. It's going to hurt. The last one to miss, and doesn't really make a move there.
I think she was fooled a little bit. I think she was thinking to go. She thought she was going to go to the inside, and was a little surprised when they went to the danger zone, to the outside of that apex there, guys.
Oh wow, and a good knockdown there as she goes down. But first, it's going to hurt. Not able to bridge the gap. I don't think she was aware of that. Again, that's a younger player just not paying attention there, but it's okay. And meanwhile, Thresher back around again. The wall set up nicely now. Cincy Psycho Chainsaw. Rock solid in. It's gonna hurt. Cincy breaks off the bridge. Rocks breaks off the bridge. Chainsaw trying to get her out, and she holds the line.
Outstanding.
But a counterclockwise block called on her.
You notice during that last jam, Raptor for the Brawlers went to the box. She tried to do some offensive blocking and actually got called for a forearm.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers of doing that there. Your score right now as it stands, 15-20 left to go. 180-129 the score, Cincinnati on top.
Gentlemen, about 4 to 5 jams ago, the Violent Lambs were about to take a triple-digit lead on Brandywine. Now it's a 51-point game. So lots of time left. They need to be very careful. They got to skate clean. They got to keep. I'm a Tattooer had such a dazzling first half. It's kind of having a little trouble here. Back to reality a little bit. She's got to be patient. She's got to stay out of the box. Most importantly, she is through though.
Yeah, you're right. A little bit of impatience there, but she does make it through first. And right now she is cruising along. As right now Cincinnati doing a great job holding the line in front. It's.
Oh boy.
I'm a little confused.
Yeah. Well. Number 121 for the Brawlers there. That would be Crash Bandicoot. Called off the jam, and then it looked like, from my vantage point, that she went ahead and cut an opposing player before the last whistle. Remember, there are 4 whistle blasts that indicate the end of a jam. Live action until that 4th whistle blast is enunciated. So the coaching staff, Hebrews and Quad Almighty, were a little hot on the collar for that one, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, Jacqueline Heat on the line right now versus Trudy Vicious. Trudy goes outside, knocked out by a great line there of 728, which is Ballerina Barbie again. But meanwhile, lead jammer spot goes to Jacqueline Heat.
Trudy was able to work her way through the pack for her first initial pass, and You're right. Ever since the first half, our jammers have gotten into a little penalty trouble, and we haven't been able to make this lead grow. It's actually just shrinking on us right now.
Yeah, the lead is dwindling down right now as that jam gets called. Cincinnati scores none, and 3 more go up on the board for Brandywine. Your score right now, 180-132, or 35, I'm sorry, with 13:30 to go. This one is still a live game, and it will go down to the last second, it looks like, Marty, at this rate.
Well, the Violent Lambs are definitely in the driver's seat. They just need to skate clean. So they could trade points. They could even, lose a little bit, but they can't have a big obnoxious jam at their, by Brandywine. They can't have 15, 20, 25 points unanswered. Brandywine's through. Brandywine has lead jammer.
Yeah, very good job there of her extending the pack. And again, that is going to be number 23, Thresher. And right out of the pack behind her is going to be Genocide. Genocide working her way around as Thresher in the pack, working her way against the full strength, and she calls it off before any points can be scored by either side. So a good move there by her part to not let the bleeding continue.
That's true, but that is certainly a win for the Violent Lambs when they do not have a lead and it ends up being a 0-0 jam. So at this point, the clock is the friend of the Violent Lambs. Still plenty of time, but each jam that ekes on by, more time dwindles away. And when you're sitting on a fairly substantial, certainly not insurmountable lead, Dave, but a substantial one at that. Each jam where huge inroads are not being made by the opposition is certainly viewed as a good thing.
You definitely still have to skate smart, and actually in that last jam, that cost the Brawlers a blocker. Ultra Sheer went to the Tom and Chi box, and rather quickly, Hot Slice gets the lead jammer for us. So let's see if she can do what she does best and put some points on the board.
Yep. Right now, Slice working her way through on her scoring pass. She's got 1 to beat, goes inside, takes the inside lane, gets a little bit of a hip check there and stays alive. Finally out of the pack is 121 Crash Banshee, hot on her heels, and a smart move here by Hot Slice to call it before any more points can be scored by Brandywine. So your score goes up by 5. Again, your score now 190-135, 11:30 left on the clock.
And we'll see how the jammer rotation evolves a bit. True to Vicious, it certainly seems to be one of the more patient jammers that Cincinnati has, and at this point, that is supreme. More so than scoring points is staying out of the box. Hot Slice, a lot of veteran presence there. I'm a tattooer. She is a veteran, but she took some time off. She's coming back in. Oh, Trudy almost had that outside lane.
Yes.
She has to come way back.
Pack getting very thin now as no pack's called and it reforms. That does allow the jammer from Brandywine to get through, and that again is going to be Jacqueline Heat. But Trudy Vicious about a half pack behind her.
Gentlemen, you can see why this Brandywine team has come along so quick, so fast. As number 54 for Brandywine, the jammer calls it off. There's 2 points scored for Brandywine to 1 point by Trudy Vicious there. But this team was down quickly right out of the gate and no shoulder slump, no negative body language or anything like that. They kept clawing their way back. They haven't quite made it back to a point where it's a coin flip type game, but this team lacks no confidence. They're playing as a cohesive unit, and they're playing with a lot of confidence.
They play with confidence. They don't lack confidence.
You got that.
Looks like we have a timeout here. We're going to have a bit of a review. I think there's a question on the scoring. Quad ran out there to ask him about it.
Yeah, it is going to be a question on the points. I'm not sure if that translated over or not. We will see what it is. Hopefully we'll have our official referee friend. But in the meantime, we want to thank NovaCare Rehabilitation, and as well as the Skater's Edge for sponsoring here the Cincinnati Roller Girls. Again, we couldn't do it without them. We also want to thank the Over the Rhine Collective and Go Joda Home Works. So check them out as well, as it looks like I'm a Tattooer is away.
All right.
So we got a 50-point game, Dave, as both jammers are struggling to make through their initial pass. What are you seeing out there? Oh.
You're starting to notice it's that time of the bout when everyone's getting a little bit tired, and this is when you're actually got to dig a little bit deeper, and you're not hitting the holes as fast, and every hit hurts a little bit more when you go to the ground. I'm a Tattooer just getting nailed by their blockers.
No penalties being called there as Thresher made it through the initial pass. She's on her scoring pass. She has 4 points. If she's able to get past I'm a Tattooer, that would be the 5th point of that. However, I'm is doing her level best to not make that happen. So she's going to pass the wall. Oh boy, she's a little out of control there. All right, so 0 points on that last scoring pass, but Brandywine, again, making some more inroads on this lead. It's now under a 50-point margin.
Yes, you're right. The score right now, 187-141. 9:10 left on the clock here as Jacqueline Heat comes back out again versus Hot Slice. Dave, break down the replay.
All right, here's the replay. This is when I'm a Tattooer is going to go into the pack, and she's just going to trip over her own skater. And then Thresher calls it off, actually, for Brandywine right there.
There we go. Hot Slice is away, as is Jacqueline Heat, both in the pack there. Hot Slice takes the inside lane, steps over a blocker in the process of going down, and remains up. Lead jammer spot there. Meantime, the pack for Cincinnati doing a great job. It looks like Poppy Chulo is gonna hurt. They gotta let her go because the pack is too thin.
We got a track cut. Scunna hurt. Went ahead and gave her one more shot. That was number 54 for Brandywine, Jacqueline Heat, and no pack was called, but then the pack reformed, and then Scunna made that hit. Speaking of hit, boy, 2 big hits, and it kind of kept Hot Slice upright, so she's through with 5 points. So this is exactly what the Lambs need to shut the door in this game.
Yeah, that became a sandwich there that propelled her forward almost as Hot Slice greets the wall again, and she is able to work alone. Cincinnati not bridging yet. There we go.
So, Dave, we're seeing a divergence in offensive tactics. The Lambs are saying, Hot Slice, it's your show. You do it. Now, when Brandywine's jammer's in that situation, you're seeing a little bit of offensive jamming where the blockers are coming forward to try to meet them up. So both are having, reasonable amount of success, but the Lambs are certainly happy with this passive offense, and it's certainly showing well on the scoreboard.
Well, that's definitely the type of skater that Hot Slice
Oh, there's a block.
is.
There's an offensive block.
There's an offensive block right there, but she calls it off. What was great with Hot Slice is she's slippery. She has people twice, triple her size hitting her, but she's so low to the ground, you really don't get a good hit on her. And with that, after that jam, it's 212 to 141.
All right, well, Trudy Vicious is going to take the line right now for Cincinnati as, again, this power jam is starting. We do have a standing jammer in the box for Brandywine. Pack of 3 right now for Brandywine as well.
Oh, no, the noisometer broke. You did it. You
the
monsters.
fans of Cincinnati, they did break the noisometer.
And
Trudy
they propelled Trudy Vicious to lead jammer.
4-pack out there now for Brandywine again as Trudy Vicious works the inside lane again, goes outside now, fakes the move, and makes her miss again. 3 times. Trudy Vicious, wow, showing off a lot of skill there, going side to side.
It was a little ole, ole, ole.
It was.
She gets knocked backward there, but quickly back on her skates, coming forward again. Now the Violent Lambs have Brandywine's jammer all hemmed up, and Trudy's through for another 5 points.
So this is exactly what the Lambs need at this time, is right when you thought Brawlers were getting right back into it. 2 big jams, one by Hot Slice, one by Trudy. Fortunately, Trudy's going to be going to the box right there for a track cut.
Yep, Trudy Vicious in the Tom and She penalty box there as Jacqueline Heat still working her way against the pack, gets out, not lead jammer obviously, and she will begin her scoring run now on this power jam for Brandywine. 3-on-3 in the pack.
So this jam is going to end at its natural conclusion. Nice offensive block there by Starbucks as she opened the outside line for her jammer. This is this is going to go a full 2 minutes, but the good news for that, now an inside line is opened up. So Violent Lambs need to have their head on a swivel. They gotta see where that offensive block's coming from, and they need to hold serve. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here it comes this time going through the middle. Let's see if the wall is able to hold up.
Psycho coming in for their rock solid, taking the inside. Number 14, that's Genocide, sticking out and unable to block as Jacqueline Heat picks up 5 more.
Jacqueline Heat was able to get through. They actually take the action from turns 4 and 1. Now it's just past turn 2. It was like butter right there.
It was smooth like butter. Yep. Trudy comes back out. 2 more points getting scored on the tail end of that one. That one bumps up your score quite a bit for both teams as the score becomes 224 to 161. 4:50 left on the clock in this one. And if you're just joining us, the game has been an exciting one so far. Cincinnati got off to an early lead, and they did hold on to it here. And it looks like if they can hold on another 440, they may just have themselves a win in this opening home game.
So the Lambs bringing that lead around at 53 points now, kind of hovering around that 50-point margin for much of the second half, but not unable to really shut the door on this Brandywine, this tough Brandywine team. Hot Slice is through. Hot Slice is lead jammer, so let's see if they can make some inroads here to really put this one away.
Pack is standing too far out. They got to let her go as number 23 Thresher able to get out of the pack. Meanwhile, though, Hot Slice out, gets her points, calls it off. And they did not see her, so Brandywine will pick up 3. That's just a matter of sticking with your guns there and running it down, and a good job there by Thresher doing that, picking up the points.
They did a great job of keeping her in the pack. They had ICRC-TV and Poppy Chulo before they had to release her, just had her at a complete stop in turn 4.
Go ahead, Marty.
Guantanamo Bay making, I believe, her second appearance as jammer for Brandywine, number 3. On the line, I'm a tattooer for the Violent Lambs, number 81. Both teams are completely free of penalties, or there's nobody in the penalty box. So this pack is getting pushed forward. A big wall is set up, so Guantanamo Bay's got a lot of white to get around, and I'd say that. I'm a tattooer, finds a little seam and squeaks through. She's your lead jammer.
Yeah, Guantanamo Bay working her way against this pack, and again, it is a very good pack for Cincinnati. It's Cincy Psycho, Susie Shinsplinsky, rock solid, and Scunna Hurt out there. Scunna comes in, lays a big block, and knocks her out. And it looks like she took a little jaw in the face there.
Yeah, she's holding her jaw on that. A little slow to get up, looking around for referees who are not really all that
and another
sympathetic
good
to her cause.
Knockdown by Scunna Hurt.
You can't see a bigger difference in these two jammers right here. I'm a tattooer is very fast, and she's just speeding around, and Guantanamo Bay is just getting hit and just very lethargically trying to work her way through the pack.
Yeah, you know, when you get hit enough times, some of the energy gets taken out of you there. Cincinnati now running to the front there to control the pack, and a pile up on turn 2 as they do a star pass. And right now it looks like Starbucks, okay, I'm sorry, thank you, Marty. Starbucks is going to be the jammer trying to make her way through this powerful 3-wall for Cincinnati. Cincinnati just holding her back, doing a great job there as Cincy Psycho goes down. And Starbucks does get through. She does not score any points because that is her initial pass as the jammer. I'm a tattooer, meanwhile, picks up 5 more for the lap.
So probably, it looks like she's going to go ahead and looking around, seeing what from the coaches. Coaches aren't really giving a whole lot of indication of what to do. So she's just going to kind of kill the clock a little bit. We're under 2 minutes in the period at this point. So Violent Lambs in control.
Yeah, you saw Coach Quad on the sideline there point to his wrist, indicating time. Oh, and that's going to be a back block on Starbucks. So she will sit down, and this is going to be a power jam for Cincinnati. So a minute 30 to go. This is kind of the kiss of death for this one, Marty.
I'll say it. It's over.
Yeah, and we also got making her jammer debut. ICRC-TV has taken the star.
You know, I'm a little surprised ICRC-TV hasn't jammed a little bit more thus far, this being her first time. She jammed quite a bit with the flock used last year. Very, very effective. She's got speed. She's got a lot more. Look at that. Nice move. Oh. Yeah, she's just got a little jukiness to it, but she's nice and patient at the same time.
Yeah, ICRC-TV really working her way through and able to do her own work as she gets through for lead jammer. Your score right now before she scores anything, 2:45, 167, 40 seconds to go, but we will go until the end of this jam, which means she's going to have 2 minutes if she wants them and doesn't get a penalty. She gets knocked out. She will have to I'm sorry, she was not knocked out. She almost was. Knocked on all 4, and she's able to get around.
You can see the Violent Lambs bench there enjoying it right now. They kind of know this one's in the bag. They're trying to get the crowd into it. The coaches are very happy right now. They're checking in with their team. I actually saw Quad smile, which, Marty, you usually don't see that.
He might have been upside down. And no. Quad's got an amazing sense of humor. He coaches with a lot of joy, and sometimes it doesn't come through, but he really does love the team, and he loves the competition, and he loves when the team is able to do what they're doing. Now he's calling for him to call it off because this game is in the books, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. That looks like it is going to be your unofficial final here as the score goes up even more, 260 to 167. And we will get you the final there once that becomes official. But in the meantime, the Cincinnati Violent Lambs come away with the victory in this first home game against the Brandywine Brawlers. Let's talk about it, boys. What did you like about the first game here?
You know, honestly, the first half was a bit more impressive than the second half. I thought I saw some particularly jamming miscues in the second half, and it could be attributed to a little bit of wear and tear. This, after all, there's a reason why they call it mid-season form. This is the first game, so it's understandable that that they're not as quite as sharp as they were, say, halfway through the first period. I thought the blocking by and by was quite good. There were some points when things kind of fell apart a little bit, and when that happened, Brandywine, instead of looking close to a triple-digit deficit, they got right back into this thing, like right around 50 points, and that's pretty much where they held it. This is a deceptive score. It's a 93-point margin, but Brandywine certainly played the Violent Lambs a lot tougher than that, gentlemen.
Dave, what did you think?
I think you have to give it up to Hot Slice and I'm a Tattooer and Trudy Vicious jamming. I'm a Tattooer, yes, I think maybe had a better first half than she had second half. But in the second half, in that last, one of those second to last jams, she had some nice patience there and waited for her pack to block for her and open it up for her. Then Hot Slice is just, she's impossible to hit. You can't get low enough because of her low center of gravity. And then you have to tip your hat to the athleticism of Trudy Vicious. She had 3 or 4 apex jumps, and she's fast, and she just has maybe a nose for a hole. She knows exactly where the pockets are in against the other team.
Absolutely, and I'd be remiss to not say A Star Is Born. Stunner Hurt really impressed today.
Yes.
ICRC, let's hear about the amazing people that make this telecast possible, Nick of Time.
Yeah, let me tell you, if you're going to watch this again, we encourage you to. Be sure to check out our replay schedule coming up on screen right now. It is going to be shown again on Sunday, the 9th at 5 p.m. on Time Warner Cable 25, and not available, unfortunately, in Cincinnati Bell Cable. Monday, on March the 10th, 8:30 p.m., Time Warner Channel number 4, Cincinnati Bell 8:34. Wednesday, March the 12th, 10 p.m., Time Warner 24. Time Warner Cable Channel 24, and again, not available on Cincinnati Bell that day. And on Thursday, on March the 13th, 10 a.m., Time Warner Cable Channel 4, as well as Cincinnati Bell 8:34. Or you can always check it out after the game at ICRC-TV.com. If you have any questions, be sure to call the number you see on your screen there. But again, a great game, a great first half in that first game there. Cincinnati comes away with the victory, but we see a lot of good stuff from Brandywine Brawlers as well.
I think what you noticed in the first game as well was definitely the theory of the coaches. You could definitely see some patience out there, and you saw the pack playing and blocking as a team.
Yep. Well, you see the fans enjoying themselves. Be sure to get yourself down here to the Cincinnati Gardens for our next home game, which I believe is going to be on a date in March. I think it's March 29th or March 28th. I am not sure. We are looking for that date right now. Aha, March 29th. I was correct. So be sure to get yourself down here for March 29th for that game. Cincinnati Roller Girls back in home action. Again, there is nothing like seeing roller derby live in the Cincinnati Gardens, and you should get down here and see it for yourself. Well, for all of us here in the booth, I am Nick of Time.
I am Coach Marty.
I'm Dave Effen.
And we hope you have a great time and a great rest of your evening. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Again, your final score, Violent Lambs 260, Brandywine Brawlers 167. We'll see you next time.